We'd like to welcome Janelle Bailey to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for joining us. We
Thanks for
appreciate it.
joining us. Appreciate it.
This week we'll be talking about my parish home and its importance to business development and the entire company. So that's the perspective we're looking at, and I hope you'll get some value out of this.
So, Janelle, what is My Parish Home?
My parish home is very close to my heart because it is a resource for a lot of the information that we need when we put together marketing materials, proposals. It's basically it's a little Bible that we use that stores all the information on projects, architects that we work with, um, project team members. I could go on how important it is to what we do.
Yeah, and it's historically just an office, internal in the office product that we use to track project history. But every employee has a user account, superintendents included. So if you're in the field, you've probably seen, especially if you're a newer employee, when you get your new employee account list, you see a line item for My Parish Home. You can go, if you're in the field, you can go there and check out who's been on project history. You have access to this. It's a resource to see what your fellow superintendents have done. So if you'd like to access it and get in there and use it, feel free. Um, so,
You answered my first question. I was going to ask you why it was so important to you, but you covered that. So what are some of the key components in my parish home that you would like to see improved on that would make your job easier?
I think what we're seeing the most of is that the project teams tend to forget about how important it is to update the information on their project in my parish home. And oftentimes we'll go in and try to build a project slick on a project that might still be under construction, but it's pending closeout, or it's not quite complete yet, or it hasn't made it into warranty, and it's still at the wrong status, or the description hasn't been updated when the scope of work was modified during pre-construction, things like that. Um, Time frames, when the work started, when it's going to be completed, not versus the contract. We have contract dates, but job doesn't always start and end.
Right.
And that's really important to us. And of course, final cost. Um, that information doesn't always get updated timely upon closeout. So we're asking oftentimes for that to be updated after the job is complete. So it would be very helpful if the project team member, maybe just once a month or ever so often, they could go in and just see what has not been completed or what has changed.
Right.
And even project team members will have a project team member that will start the job but be relocated to another job, and then the new person that takes that position over is never added to the job. So when we're building a resume for a team member and we don't know that our team member has been on a job, especially a most recent job, that's something that we would never know in the office.
Right.
So it's really important that all the team members are listed on the job. The architect is filled out, owner information, as much as possible.
And again, all this is so that when you need to put a proposal together, you've got accurate information anytime you go in to view it.
It keeps us from tracking the information down one person at a time,
Right.
because oftentimes when we're on a deadline, the people that have the information aren't always available.
Yeah.
They could
Yeah.
be on a job tied up, they could be on vacation, they could be at a conference, they could be, 1,000 different places where they don't have the access to the information that we need right then.
Right.
And we're trying to avoid that happening.
Okay.
Um, and with accurate and regular update of the information, that would be eliminated.
Great explanation. Thank
yeah,
you.
and Janelle used the term Bible, because it's more than that. It's a history. We have no way of tracking the history of what we've done, and people come and go. We've had people come and go, and that information lives with them, and we don't want that. We want it in the company. There is a procedure document. If you would like a copy of it, you can get it on the company server, or you can ask one of us. We'll put a link uh, in the podcast for it. That kind of helps you map out each person's responsibility and goes through what Janelle was talking about. Another thing, Janelle, that you mentioned was there's been some repeat project entry. Do you want to go over that or discuss a solution?
Ever so often, we will come across duplicate project entries or profiles, and we're thinking that those are happening mostly with projects that are falling under SPLOS contracts. They're started after we get the contract, and I'm not sure who is starting those, if it's the project manager or if it's an assistant maybe that's been delegated that. But whomever starts a new project profile needs to search within My Parish Home using keywords to try to identify if there's already a project profile started for that job before starting another one. And why that is so important is just recently I came across two project profiles for the same job. Not sure how they were started, but oftentimes the the business development team will start a project profile if we're pursuing that job initially and then we're awarded the job. But if it doesn't go through that process and it's a SPLOS job, it starts after the contract. And so more than one person could start that profile. Just look before you start a new one. And if you have questions, just ask someone.
And My Parish Home provides right there when you first pull it up on projects, there's a search block, and there's also, you can drop down and have a ton of different filtering options. So it's very easy to narrow your search down so that you can see if one has already been created.
It really is. And the keyword search can be as simple as just one word that's tied to that project. It doesn't have to be the
Right,
entire project name because not every person would put in or name the same project the same identical thing.
right.
So you could put in something as simple as Houston Elementary, for example, and it would pull up if somebody put in. But if somebody doesn't spell out elementary and only puts Houston ES, that's a common abbreviation
Hmm.
for elementary school, you may want to search a couple of different ways just to make sure
Good
that
point.
that's not in there. Or maybe search by owner and sort through.
Yep.
Now, Houston County has a lot of projects, but and you'd have to go through several pages to make sure. But those are just some of the things that you can do to avoid duplicate entries.
Super.
So, Ben, I know you use My Parish Home for
Yes.
tracking warranty
Yes.
items. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So you had alluded to, Craig, that it's a history, and from the warranty perspective, not only do we track the status of warranty items through My Parish Home, we can use that in the future um, through analytics to determine if we have repeat offenders, for example, like with subs or manufacturers, when we have um, different schools or different projects that are um, where we're seeing warranty items of the same type. So, and it shows a trend basically. So, and we can use that to our benefit as a company, all the way starting with pre-con, because if if they don't know that there's a problem with a particular sub or manufacturer, then they'll continue using them, or it'll never get addressed. But if we can see the trend, then we can take some type of action. And is my point. So if the information is not tracked in My Parish Home, then I don't see it. How does it get there? Well, any number of ways. You can send me the information. You can come visit me, or you can enter it yourself as you receive a warranty call. Um, but at any time you've got questions, give me a call, and I'll be more than happy to enter it myself or show you how to do it. And then we can track it. We can see it to its end, and then we have it for historical purposes, which can help the bottom line in the long run.
All right, and just a disclaimer to what Ben said, if you want to enter the warranty items yourself, we completely support that. Just get with him first so that you make sure you are doing it the same way he would. That way, when we're tracking stuff, the information is as it should be in reports. Um, and that's the end of our podcast for today. Janelle, thank
Thank
you
you.
so much
Yes.
for coming.
Thank you
Um,
for having
we
me. I
appreciate it,
enjoyed it.
Yep.
and we enjoyed it. It's good information.
As always, if you like the video, please like it, share it, hit the thumbs up, whatever it is that this thing does at the bottom of the screen. And more importantly, share with us what you would like to see in the future, what you'd like to hear about more, because we want this to be valuable to you. We don't do this just because we like to do it, because personally it's kind of uncomfortable. So send us some ideas so that we can talk about something that is of value to you. Thank you.
It doesn't seem uncomfortable. Been tested. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Have a good